Hey, this is the Collection Dweller, and this is my first video in my whole history of YouTube, which explains the complete lack of professionalism. But I'm going to be showcasing my video game collection, and this is the part one of the video. I'm going to be going over my cartridge games. Now, this collection is very puny, but it's going to grow a lot. Like, it will grow, I promise. Do not be alarmed, it will grow. But this is just the beginning of the video game collection. First, I'm gonna start out with my NES games for the original Nintendo. First, I've got this right here. It's the combinational combo pack of Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt. Yeah, I know everything's backwards. This was shot with a webcam. And then I've got the gold cartridge of The Legend of Zelda. Sweet. And then next, I've got, these are my Super Nintendo games now. My Super Nintendo. I've got Mortal Kombat, the awful, god-awful Super Nintendo port, but still, it's Mortal Kombat, so I love Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat 2, much better port than Mortal Kombat 1. Really, if Mortal Kombat 1, if you want it on any console at all, take it from me, get it on Genesis. And then we've got a video game based off possibly the best comic book miniseries of all time, RoboCop vs. the Terminator. Based off of what, in my opinion, is the best miniseries in comic book history. And then here we've got a video game based off one of my favorite movies. We've got Demolition Man. Great film if you ever want to check it out. Then we've got the classic Super Mario World. Comes with every Super Nintendo. And then we've got the trilogy. One of the greatest game series of all time, Super Star Wars. And I've also got the entire series for that one. I've also got Super Empire Strikes Back and Super Return of the Jedi. I've got it made with those. I love those. And then these are my Japanese Super Nintendo games, my Super Famicom games. I've only got two though. I've got the Japanese version of Street Fighter 2. And I've got Dragon Ball Z Super Butoden 3, which I hear Super Butodens 1 and 2 are a lot better, but I've only played 3. It isn't so great. There's no story mode whatsoever, but enough rambling. On to the Sega Genesis games. I've got one of the greatest fighters of all time, Primal Rage. And I've got one based off of probably my favorite show on television, Beavis and Butthead. Yeah. And then I've got two copies of this. I've got 2 copies of Sonic the Hedgehog. Don't know why. I have 2 copies though. And then I've got Sonic the Hedgehog 2, a lot better than Sonic 1. And then I've got Sonic 3, which better than Sonic 2. And then when I've got Sonic and Knuckles, I've got Sonic and Knuckles, and when you lock Sonic 3 on, makes one better than any game in the series except for Sonic Heroes. That will always be the best. And then we've got a game that defines my entire childhood, Toy Story. Toy Story was my childhood. The Toy Story video game, it was. That's the only thing I did growing up was Toy Story and Super Star Wars, but Toy Story especially. And then finally, I'm going to hit the Nintendo 64. I've only got 4 for it. I've got Star Wars Shadows of the Empire. And I've got a game that I do not understand the hate for, South Park. Do not understand why everybody hates it so much. Donkey Kong 64. And finally, I've got probably my luckiest pickup in this entire collection, Mario Kart 64. In this right here, Mario Kart 64, I paid $1 at a yard sale. little third grade kid, wanted $1 for this thing, didn't know how much it was worth. I won there. Well, that's it for my cartridge games. You enjoyed this? Subscribe, like, share, go back and watch some of my other videos, and enjoy. I hope you enjoy it, and that will be all.